Hi everyone, Peloquin. So for today's video, this is another episode of SFF Spotlight, and this is of course the last episode of SFF Spotlight in the month of October. SFF Spotlight episode 74. If this is the first time you're watching this series of videos, well, this is of course where I usually talk about new book news, new cover reveal, new special edition, new Kickstarter campaign, and also noteworthy release in the adult science fiction and fantasy genre. And today we have about 20 topics to cover, so I will just get started immediately because I don't want to spend too much of your time watching this episode of SFF Spotlight. And for the first one, I want to give a spotlight to John Gwynne. This is a new noteworthy release. The Fury of the Gods, the final book in the Bloodstone saga, is out now, and on top of that, the first two books in hardback, The Shadow of the Gods and also The Hunger of the Gods, is available on Amazon UK and Blackwell's. I don't know whether by the time of posting this video, whether they're sold out now, but I know that Orbit Books have decided to reprint the first two hardcovers of the Bloodstone saga in honor of the publication of The Fury of the Gods. And I am proud of John Gwynne very much that he has finally finished writing and also editing The Fury of the Gods, the third book in the Bloodstone saga. As I always say, when it comes to reading John Gwynne books, even though I love all of his books, he is always at his best when it comes to writing conclusions. So I hope that will be the same case for The Fury of the Gods, which I will read as soon as possible. And after this, before I talk about books again, I want to spotlight probably a gadget, and this is for Kindle Colorsoft. So Kindle has announced their new edition. At this time, I think this has been anticipated and also demanded by so many readers for so many years. Kindle will finally have a color. Kindle Colorsoft. That's the name of this Kindle, and I think many of you know that Kindle Paperwhite is a huge part of my life. I really don't know how I will be able to live without Kindle Paperwhite now. And this is coming from me who still prefer to read physical format the most, but I still cannot deny that the appearance and also having Kindle in my life definitely increased my reading capability and also my reading enjoyment, because I now can read anywhere and anytime I want. And now with Kindle Colorsoft, I'm still not sure whether I will get this one or not, but I think this will makes me enjoy reading manga so much more on my Kindle, because in the previous edition in Kindle Paperwhite, reading manga is just not that satisfying from Kindle Paperwhite, from my opinion anyway. But hopefully with Kindle Colorsoft, that will be better. So I don't know, maybe I will buy this one eventually, because my Kindle Paperwhite, even though it's been, I don't know how many years now, 5 years, 6 years, or maybe even 7 years. It's been 7 years and my Kindle Paperwhite still works very nicely, even though I use it pretty much almost every day. So I don't know when I will buy the Kindle Colorsoft yet, but I think that will happen once my Kindle Paperwhite broke down. And after that, back to books. The next one that I want to spotlight, it's been a while since I spotlighted Sun Eater by Christopher Ruocchio, and I'm glad I can do that now. And this is for The Murdered Sun. The cover art for The Murdered Sun is out now, and is once again done by Kieran Yanner, the iconic and also the staple cover artist of the Sun Eater series by Christopher Ruocchio. Now some of you might be asking that, what is The Murdered Sun from Underida Books or Underida Books? I need to be clear here. This is not the seventh or the final book in the Sun Eater series. It is not that one, and you can certainly get by without reading The Murdered Sun. If you are familiar with the Dragon's Steel Prime or The Way of Kings Prime by Brandon Sanderson, well, The Murdered Sun is essentially the Empire of Silence Prime. It is what Empire of Silence was before it became Empire of Silence, just like the draft version of Empire of Silence. So you don't actually have to read this one in order to enjoy the main series. You don't have to at all. But if you are a collector of the Underida edition, then there is a good chance that you will have to own this edition before the appearance of Empire of Silence illustrated underwriter edition. I think that's really the case here, but either way, I think this is an absolutely gorgeous cover art, as expected, of Kieran Yanner and also the Sun Eater series, one of my top favorite series of all time. And moving on to the next topic, before we start talking again about cover reveals, I want to spotlight a TV adaptation first. And this is for a fantasy series, and it is from Sebastien de Castell. The title of this series is Spellslingers. I haven't read this series yet. I have read the Great Code series, which I really enjoyed, but I still haven't read anything else from Sebastien de Castell beyond the Great Code series. And it has been announced that Spellslingers, there is a good chance it will be getting a TV show adaptation treatment. Now, Sebastien de Castell has mentioned that he's very happy with the team working on it, but I think many of you will know that every time a new TV show adaptation is announced, you have to put this in the backlog of your mind, because not only it will take years before it finally happens, there is more often than not, it doesn't end up happening. And Sebastien de Castell mentioned that as well. But I think this is still a very good news, and hopefully it will come true, I don't know how many years from now. And now back to the topic of cover reveals. And for the next one, this is for Tideborn. Tideborn by Eliza Chan. This is the sequel to the Phantom Folk, and the cover art is once again done by Cahill Chong. As expected, just like how Phantom Folk was like, this is a beautiful and a matching design compared to the first book. It is a beautiful cover art, and I actually cannot wait to see what Illumicrate will do for their edition, because they did such a great job with their edition of Phantom Folk. As for me, I haven't read Phantom Folk yet. Right now, I think on Goodreads, it received quite a mixed reception, so I don't know whether I will end up enjoying that or not, but I look forward to reading it for the first time anyway. But this is the second book in the duology, so it is a concluding volume to the duology. And again, congratulations to Eliza Chan, and also to Cahill Chong, of course, for creating such a beautiful, beautiful cover art. And after that, the next cover reveal I want to spotlight, this is for Darkblade Voyager by Andy Peloquin, with the cover art by Luciano Fleitas. And I think some of you will probably know Luciano Fleitas for his work on Dungeon Crawler Carl, but yeah, he also did the work and the cover art on Darkblade series by Andy Peloquin. I cannot believe that it is the 9th book in the series now. This series, I think it is planned to be 12 books long. So yeah, it is a huge epic fantasy series, and I haven't read a single one of them, even though I did the cover reveal of the first book, Darkblade Assassin, and still I haven't started reading this series yet. But if you have read this series, please let me know what you think about this series. Is it worth the page count, the huge word count, or do you think that it is longer than it should be? But as far as cover art goes, and also the premise of this book and the series, I think it is interesting enough to me, and I love the new cover art to the series, because before this, the previous cover art, it was, in my opinion, sorry to say, it was awful. I mean, it is a big reason why I did not feel interested in the series at all in the first place. But after it received a new, huge, upgraded cover art by Luciano Fleitas, it got my interest. And hopefully I will end up enjoying this series when I finally started reading the series. No idea when that will happen. Again, this series is 12 books long. That's the plan anyway. And by the end of the series, it will probably be as huge as The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan and also Brandon Sanderson. And yeah, that's really it for the topic of cover reveal. Now let's talk about some special editions. If you're not interested in special edition, you feel free to move on to the next section in this episode of SFF Spotlight. But the first one that I want to spotlight, this is an exciting one for me because I'm a die-hard fan of the Green Bone Saga by Fonda. So the cover art to Jade War, the Subterranean Press Edition, is out now. And once again, it is done by Micah Epstein. It is absolutely beautiful. I cannot decide which one I actually love more between the Green Bone Saga, the Broken Binding Edition for Jade War, or this one. But I think both by Randy Vargas or by Micah Epstein, both of them looks absolutely gorgeous, and both of them feature Shay in the front cover. I knew that it would be Shay. It's only right that Shay is in the front cover art of Jade War, and in Jade Legacy, it will be Hilo. of course it will have to be Hilo, and I think it will be odd if Subterranean Press does not go with Hilo at the front cover of their edition of Jade Legacy, but we will see when the time comes. But anyway, I really love this edition of Jade War. I have already purchased a copy of JCT Subterranean Press edition, and I think this is a gorgeous cover art. Let me know what you think and which one do you like more. Is it the one from the Broken Binding, or is it the one from Subterranean Press for the cover art? I think both of them looks absolutely gorgeous. And speaking of the Broken Binding, let's talk about some Broken Binding announcements, shall we? And the first one is for Death's End by Cixin, translated by Ken Liu, the cover art by Jeff Brown, and also art directed by me. This book, the cover art, is out now. So yeah, all three cover art of the Remembrance of Earth's Past trilogy, or the Three Body Problem trilogy by Cixin Liu, is out now. The Three Body Problem, Dark Forest, and also Death's End. I am super proud of the result of this cover art. They are so vivid in my mind, especially the first two books and now the third book as well. When I gave the art brief to Jeff Brown, I knew what I wanted, and Jeff Brown definitely delivered what I wanted into the pages, and they all look absolutely stunning in my opinion. No bias, I just think they all look gorgeous. If I did not work on this one and I saw these cover art, I would still say that these are beautiful cover art. But let me know, which one do you love most between these three cover art? The Three Body Problem, the Dark Forest, or Death's End? I don't think there's a wrong answer here. I love all three of them, and if I have to choose, it will be a tie between the Three Body Problem or the Dark Forest. But again, I'm super proud of this one, and if you have been following my Instagram or on my Twitter, I've been getting tagged a lot on this edition, and also Memory, Soro, and Thorn, and I'm super happy. It means a lot to me to see so many positive reaction toward these two series and these two editions that I got to work with. And speaking of series that I worked on, well, the next one is just a brief one. This is about the reprint of the Sun Eater and also the Malazan Book of the Fallen, the first set of each series. So if you missed out on the first three books of Malazan Book of the Fallen by Steven Erikson and also the Sun Eater by Christopher Ruocchio, the Broken Binding edition, it is still possible to get them. Please make sure to fill in the form of the new form of the interest list for these two series. I will leave the link in the description down below. Honestly, the sales for these two series have been insane. Especially Sun Eater, it has been beyond expectation. Even with 2,000 more sets back then, I think it will still sell out very quickly. That's how insane the sales for the Sun Eater edition was. It's almost as crazy as Malazan Book of the Fallen by Steven Erikson. But again, anyway, just a reminder, if you missed out on it, please make sure to fill out the form if you want to own the second print of Malazan Book of the Fallen and also the Sun Eater Broken Binding edition. And again, another series, and this is for the next topic. This is for Of Darkness and Light by Ryan Cahill. Again, Ryan Cahill has revealed the next interior artwork for his edition of Darkness and Light, and this is one by Randy Vargas. Personally, this is my top favorite interior art in the entire edition for Of Darkness and Light, and I was the one who chose this scene, and Ryan Cahill helped me with the details, and we are super proud with the result. This turned absolutely gorgeous, and Randy Vargas has always been one of my top favorite artists, and this is just another proof why he's always been one of my favorite artists. He's just so good when it comes to characters, effects, and also actions. He's so good at everything, really. And let me know what you think about this piece. Do you think this is your favorite, or is it the one from Rene or Jeff Brown? But anyway, there will be more details about Of Darkness and Light cover art and also sales really soon. It won't be long from now. But moving on to the final topic from the Broken Binding announcement, this is of course for 11th Cycle by Kian Ardalan. It is available to purchase now, the Broken Binding Press edition. It features the same cover art by NinoIs, but it will have a few interior illustrations by NinoIs and also Ivan Fujovic and other artists. There are plenty of interior illustrations inside the Broken Binding Press edition of 11th Cycle by Kian Ardalan, one of my top favorite self-published fantasy book. And this time, this edition, Kian Ardalan has confirmed it received a new round of editing from Sarah Chong, and that only means this book will be even better than the previous edition, because I know the previous edition received a lot of mixed reception due to the editing, due to the lack of editing, and also due to the gory content. Well, the gory and extremely detailed graphic content will not go away from this edition, but it received a new round of editing. I haven't read this one yet, of course. I haven't read the new edition, so I don't know how substantial the new editing will provide, but I think it will only mean great things. So if you have been waiting for this edition, it is available to purchase now from the Broken Binding website. And now we move on to the final two special editions, and these are from the higher end stuff. And for the next one, this is for Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. So yeah, the first book in the Outlander series, it has a new Santa Press edition. And even though I haven't read anything from this series yet, I must say that the paintings, the edition, the tartan on the naked hardcover, this is absolutely stunning and beautiful design. Beautiful paintings from the artist, and also I think it is a very, very well done job from Santa Press. And I know that in the Facebook group of Santa Press, a lot of people felt mixed about this edition, about this publication, but I personally think that it is a smart move from Santa Press, and I think it is a beautiful edition. One of their most beautiful design, in my opinion. So yeah, but the price for this one, it is $175, and that's for the cheapest edition. That's for the classic edition. It is, after all, a fine press edition. The numbered and the lettered, they are, well, multiply more expensive. And finally, speaking of fine press edition, the next one is just an update on The Fall of Hyperion by Dan Simmons, and this is for the Curious King edition. So because a lot of people who purchased Hyperion by Dan Simmons haven't received their copies yet, well, Curious King has smartly decided to postpone the publication, the pre-order date of The Fall of Hyperion to the 5th of November instead. So yeah, this is just an update on that, and I think it will be another absolute stunner. This is Curious King. They always go all out with their production. So yeah, that's really it for the topic, for the section of special editions. Now we move on to Kickstarter campaign. I only have three Kickstarter campaign to spotlight here. And the first Kickstarter campaign I want to spotlight today, it is for Supplicant by Delilah 1. This is the first and the second book in the Resonance Crystal Legacy series. The first book is called Petition, and the second book is Supplicant. And this series is getting a deluxe treatment with a new cover art by Rosemary Fung and also board by Kerstin Rosero. It is an Asian setting epic fantasy series, and it has been pitched as Six of Crows or Mistborn meets the Traitor Baru Cormoran by Seth Dickinson. So yeah, that sounds promising, because even though I did not actually enjoy the Traitor Baru Cormoran, I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I do like the story. I just did not like the writing style. So yeah, having this pitch as Six of Crows, which I enjoyed, and then Mistborn, one of my favorite books of all time, meets the Traitor Baru Cormoran in an Asian epic fantasy setting, I think that sounds really awesome. And I really like the design and also the cover art by Kerstin Rosero and also Rosemary Fung. So yeah, this one is almost at the end of the Kickstarter campaign, and right now I think it's about to meet the next stretch goal, and that is a map by Charis Luke. So yeah, that's awesome. So if you're interested in this one, make sure to check out the Kickstarter campaign. And I know from reading the premise, from reading the reviews, even though there aren't too many of them yet, I know that I will be reading this series eventually. And right now, I think the series is planned to be 5 books long, I think. And moving on to the next Kickstarter campaign, I actually just got this edition today. This is for the second set in the Ragnarok Prophecy by Matt Larkin. So yeah, this is the definitive edition of every series that Matt Larkin has released in the Ragnarok era in his series. And yeah, this edition, it is gorgeous. And he's currently doing a Kickstarter campaign of the second set. So that's book 4 until book 6. In total, there will be 9 books. So it all will feature this kind of cover art. And also, I just want to feature this. Ta-da! Look at that. This end paper, this map. I think if you have been following my channel, you know that I'm a die-hard fan of Francesca Beralt. I think she is the best cartographer in the science fiction and fantasy genre. And this is a map by her of Midgard. Look at that. It is gorgeous. so gorgeous. And of course, this edition does not come only with that and paper and map. There are plenty of interior illustration as well, and also updated text about his series. So if you're interested in Norse mythology and you want to own the first and the second set, it is still possible to do that by checking out his Kickstarter campaign, which is ongoing right now. And this is an artwork by Andrew Malaski, and there is another artwork by Dennis Korneff in this edition. Let me show you this one. Ta-da! It's beautiful. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how this one will turn out in the second set, and I think right now it's about to be funded. And finally, the last Kickstarter campaign I want to spotlight today, this is for Wizard by Ken Warner. And just like the Ragnarok Prophecy by Matt Larkins, I actually just got this book as well, the first book in the series, and that's Wizard, the Mage Saga by Ken Warner. So yeah, this is designed by Rachel St. Clair, and this is the spine. This is the back cover, and it features 4 interior artwork. Let me show you some of them. But the Kickstarter campaign for the second book, it hasn't gone live yet. It's about to do, I think, in a few days from now. So if you own the first book especially, make sure to follow the Kickstarter campaign of the second one. Hold on, let me show you the interior art here. This is one of the 4 interior illustrations by Omer Burak Onal, and there are 3 other illustrations by Andrew Malaski and Dennis Korneff as well. And yeah, that's it. That's a wrap on the Kickstarter campaign. And the last 3 topics that I want to spotlight today, these are trailers for new show. Or basically, this is just to highlight that November will be an exciting watching month. The first one, Arcane. Arcane Season 2 will start premiering on the 9th of November. I think that's the date for the first 3 episodes of the Season 2. I just finished my 3rd watch of Arcane Season 1, and it is as good as the first time I watched it, and I cannot wait to find out how this series will conclude in the second season. And speaking of second season, Silo's second season will also start in the month of November. This one is on the 15th of November. I really enjoyed watching Season 1. I do not consider it as one of my top favorite TV show of all time, but I still had such a great time watching the first season, and I hope the second season will be just as good or maybe even better. Honestly, Apple TV has been on fire very much, and not only Silo, that is also For All Mankind, and recently there's a new teaser for Severance, and yeah, Severance just received the second season teaser as well, and I cannot wait to watch it. If you haven't watched Severance yet, I highly recommend it. It is a great show, quite a unique concept, and very compelling in my opinion. And now we move on to the final topic, and the final topic in this section and the final topic of today's episode of SFF Spotlight. The new trailer for Dune Prophecy is available now, and this one will premiere on 17th of November. So yeah, as I said, so many great shows is going to premiere in the month of November, and I will try to watch them all. No idea how many books I will get to read in the month of November, so we'll see. It will be a super busy month before the end of the year for me. So yeah, that's really it. That's pretty much it from me today. And again, I just want to say thank you so much to all of you who keep on tuning in to my SFF Spotlight episodes. As you probably know, these are not easy to make. They are the most time consuming of all the videos that I post on my YouTube channel. So it means a lot to me that you get something out of it. So yeah, that's it. That's it from today. As always, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. Bye bye. Lastly, I want to say thank you so much once again to all my patrons who keep on supporting me.